There was a time when ideas were respected. Nay, they were even revered. A time when these books weren't mere decorations on the wall. There was something to be read. They were doorways to different lives, different characters, and doorways to ideas. We live in the most connected era in history, yet somehow, when you look at it from afar, we seem the most disconnected. And in today's world, you can go on social media, you can watch videos, you can scroll and see people reacting. Everyone has their own opinion, yet no one seems to understand. The testament to this fact are all those discussions where one side is trying to prove the other wrong. People debated not to dominate, but rather to understand. Yet now, everyone wants to dominate, everyone wants to prove the other wrong. And the testament to this fact is, if you go and look in all these discussions, you will understand and see if someone does not agree with another one's opinion, they get offended. And in some cases, offense might be understood. But this offense does not come from the argument, it rather comes from the person. That why do you negate what I have to say, rather than asking the question that why do you negate what has been said? The I in this is the problem. And this isn't something new or fresh. I was reading this quotation by Plato the other day, in which he said that wise men speak when they have something to say, while fools speak when they want to say something. So there's a very thin, fine line between them. But the distinction, if you look from a point that is out of arrogance, is very, very clear. The crisis of our age is shallow thinking. We don't need to understand. We just skim, and we skim so that we can form an opinion before we even understand the facts. There was this study I was reading which claimed that 75% of people in a country like Pakistan will not read a book outside of their text curriculum ever in their lives, which is appalling. Books are such a healthy medium. Books are such a dominant medium. You read books, you see books. Books are talked about so much. Yet how is it that no one is reading? And the crisis stems into pseudo-intellectualism. People want to assert dominance, and people want to believe and want others to believe that their opinion is right before even knowing the facts. And to testify this analysis, there's this old proverb which says, half of knowledge is worse than ignorance. We consume information the way we consume fast food. Quick, cheap, and instantly forgettable. The great Andalusian thinker, Averroes, once wrote that ignorance leads to fear. Fear leads to hatred. And hatred then leads to violence. And you can go look at any comment section today, and you'll know what he meant. There was a time from Baghdad to Cordoba when people used to seek knowledge as we now seek attention. People used to debate, books were written by hand, and minds were trained like athletes. And many of you watching might argue that I am being a romantic, and in my romanticism of an era gone by, I am fixating on those things that are good, while forgetting all the violence and ills of that time, which were basically caused by mere arguments. My point here is not to criticize the present and glorify the past, but it's merely an attempt to make a point about which even Ibn Khaldun, the great historian and the father of sociology, reminded us all those years ago. He said that the past resembles the future more than one droplet of water resembles another. The lesson here is to understand that the same mistake has been made throughout history. And as soon as we don't rectify our mistakes, as soon as we don't understand the problem of our age and how, pseudo-intellectualism has taken over intellectualism and how original thought has been trivialized into going with the flow, we will make the same mistakes people in history did. Maybe the problem isn't technology. Maybe it's us. Maybe all these devices are not the evils of the world. Maybe they're just tools that reminded us of how shallow humans can be and how unoriginal their thought can be. These devices are like the shepherd who flocks his sheep to whatever direction. But we are not sheep. And even though we have lost our patience, our curiosity, our attention, we have not lost the capability of original thought. So before you scroll past this, or you get distracted by a notification, sit down and ask yourself this: am I thinking or am I just reacting? Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more depth, more understanding, and more curiosity. Welcome to the Thinker's Cauldron and to thinking again.